ActorScope, the what?
The best 30 minutes of your week!
And I am Winston Sinclair, casting director here in Atlanta, Georgia, from New York. Shout out to the Big Apple. Thank you guys for joining us today. I cannot believe it's our 1-year anniversary. It's our 50th show, but I think there were 2 shows that we didn't tape.
Right.
So, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it's a year.
I can't believe it.
Oh my God.
I can't believe it at all.
And so much has happened in that year.
Whew.
Oh my God. Okay, so let me just tell you what my producers have prepared. It's our 1st year anniversary of ActorScope. We've come a long way. My goal for this show from the very beginning has been to give you guys a platform to ask questions, to get the answers you need to help further your careers. Hopefully throughout the year, we provided you with some valuable information and positive inspiration. You need it to move forward. So, always be on time for the roll call, and let's see who's out there with us. Okay guys, sign in, let us know where you're coming from. My producer's got to let me know because I can't see the show. So let me know where people signing in from, because we are really, really fortunate to be here.
Right.
How have you been?
I've been great, and I'm just sitting here thinking about when you first came up with the idea of ActorScope, how, you know, in my mind, I knew I always wanted to like direct, I knew I always wanted to act, I always said I'd never want to be a producer. Honestly, I know what a producer did. And then you said, Mike, what do you think about this? I said, oh, it's a great idea. She said, great, you're my producer. I was like, wait, what? So just being at WSA has taught me things about myself that I didn't know. And of course, you surround me with an awesome team. That definitely makes it happen. So I'm excited, man. Today's a celebration of my heart and my soul and my spirit, and I just...
So many good things are going on. Everybody take a moment, share and tweet. Share and tweet. Okay, take a moment, share and tweet. Okay, let everybody know that you're watching ActorScope and they should be tuning in if they're serious about their careers. Now, we have a contest here. You know about it. I think you created it. Okay, I think you created it.
To the staff.
Exactly. Who's Got Heart, okay? And that is for our Periscope watchers. And what we want you to do is keep giving us those hearts. Keep giving us those hearts, okay? Our Who's Got Heart competition, whoever wins, their headshot gets put all over all our social media. IG, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, everything. Okay? So please, go ahead and do it. Last week's winner, let's see who last week's winner. I believe our winner last week was Samantha Marie with over 800 hearts. And if you check our social media, you'll see her picture, beautiful picture all over it. So we love you, Samantha Marie. Hoping you can top your number today. Okay, now we also started with Facebook maybe about 8 weeks ago. And now we have a Facebook competition, and for Facebook, our competition is Who's Been Watching. And the way that you win on our Facebook competition is we ask you a question from last week's show, and whoever answers the question correctly the first is our winner. And I believe our winner last week was Kumari Deshay. Watching. Now, email your answers for the Facebook competition to wsa.actorscope@gmail.com and let's see who wins. Now, the question for this week, this is a tough one because I don't even think I remember the answer to this one. Do you remember the answer to this one?
I remember like 2 out of 4.
Okay, so you're not doing so well either. Okay, Facebook watchers, here's the question for Who's Been Watching. On last week's show, we talked about 4 different acting techniques and the actors that used them. What was the type of acting technique that was mentioned that Tupac used? Okay? So what was the technique that Tupac uses?
Oh, he used the running gun.
No.
That wasn't one?
No, that wasn't one of them.
Oh, okay.
Don't make things up.
I'm sorry.
Okay. You're not credible when you make things up. Okay? Email your answers to wsa.actorscope@gmail.com, and of course, we'll announce next week who our winner is. Now, also, you know, this is our 1-year anniversary, so I know that ActorScope is the best 30 minutes of your week.
Absolutely.
But we may go a little longer today. Give them a little bit more, because we have so much to celebrate. So,
not mad at that.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
You're ready? Okay.
I don't know how I'm sitting down right now.
Okay, let me make an announcement before we get started, and then we're going to jump into the show, because this show means a lot for a lot of reasons. One of them, because we're going to be talking about what?
Untitled.
Okay.
The cast, some of the cast members will be joining us today, so that's why you got this extra setup with the extra seats. So please stay tuned for the entire show and check out.
You don't want to miss any of it, I promise.
Exactly. Check them out.
Okay, so let me make an announcement. Guys, SOAR is coming back to Atlanta. We have been getting emails, we have been getting inquiries. SOAR is coming back to Atlanta Saturday, August 6th from noon to 5 p.m. SOAR with Winston Sinclair. That will be me. This intensive is one of the best hands-on intensives in New York City or ATL. SOAR is a unique intensive that focuses on preparation on how to audition and how to own the room when you're auditioning. Let's learn tools to help improve our confidence in the room. So let's SOAR with Winsome. If you're on Facebook or on Periscope, guess what? 1 year anniversary, $30 off. Okay?
Nice.
So email today to save your spot. You can either go ahead and sign up at soarwithwinsomeatl@eventbrite.com, or you can email to reserve your spot at soarwithwinsome@gmail.com for more information so you can register at the door. But go ahead and save your slot now because it's limited seating and I really want to see you guys in the room.
Actually, Winston, let me get one of the interns, please sign me up for SOAR right now.
Okay.
$30 off. That's a steal.
Exactly.
So please just sign me up. I'll be there, y'all. I'll be there. August 6th.
Okay,
August 6th.
I love it. I love it. I don't really know what to have you there. That was kind of hot.
I love SOAR.
You might discover new talent there too.
That's why I
For your next
go.
project too.
That's why I go to SOAR. I go to SOAR.
Ulterior motives. I love it.
Yes.
But before we get into the rest of the show, why don't you tell us what's filming in and around town?
Well, I believe that's why I'm here. So, I'll go ahead and inform you. Now, what's casting? Let's see. MacGyver.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, correct me if I'm
A
wrong.
lot of these people are probably too young to remember.
I was about to say, is that like a show
I
from way back in the
don't
day?
even think you were around yet.
Yeah. You know, I came around, I was born in 2003.
Anyway, nice try.
No, that didn't work? Okay. MacGyver.
Yes.
So, they're looking for attractive, fashionable, trendy women to portray wardrobe stylists and the makeup artists.
That is my entire ActorScope audience, female audience.
Yes, so everybody just go ahead and apply right now. All the Who's Got Hearts winners?
Yes, go ahead.
I post y'all every week, so I be watching.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Go ahead and send an email to macatl@centralcasting.com. That's Mac, MACATL @centralcasting.com. All ethnicities, ages 21 through 40 years old. If you're attractive, fashionable, trendy, and you can portray.
That's my entire audience. They're all
everybody.
They're all
Everybody. Now listen, you got to be available. Here's the kicker. Some of y'all availability be shot. But listen, must be available this Thursday all the way through Tuesday. So starting tomorrow, okay?
So that's a continuity shot, guys. So when they ask for availability Thursday through Tuesday, don't say I can do Thursday, Friday, because you'll mess up their continuity. If you can't give them all 4 days, you're going to have to pass.
Now, same show, same email, macatl@centralcasting.com is looking for in-shape men and women, clean cut, clean shaven to portray FBI and cops.
Oh, nice.
Bring your upscale business attire with no visible tattoos. See, that's why I don't have tattoos. I don't got the time.
It rules you out.
That's just my listen. No knock to people with tattoos. Okay, really, I'm just scared of needles.
Okay.
I'll tell the truth. I don't do needles. All right. So now you must be available for the same days, Thursday and Tuesday for this one also. Okay. Put FBI and cops in the subject line. And last but not least, Marion Designs book cover models. They're doing this for a photo shoot opportunity. You got to be in shape. They're looking for biracial and black men with long hair, dreads, etc., 18 through 35. Submit 2 photos, head and full body, with your stats, meaning your height, weight, all that good stuff, and your contact information. Send that to info@mariondesigns.com. Again, that's info@mariondesigns.com.
And just let me help you guys and clarify. Contact information is your phone number, your email address. Please do not send your mailing address. It's not going to be right with you. Okay?
Yeah, it's 2016.
Exactly.
Not 1966.
What's wrong with that?
I ain't say no 1966.
Okay, I was just saying.
You ain't gonna email nobody in 1966.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I was about to be offended. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Okay. Now, on to what I've been waiting for so long.
You ready?
Ready?
I'm nervous.
Are you going to introduce them? How are we going to do
Well, we're going to bring them up. Before we do, I just want to tell everybody to make sure to subscribe to ActorScope and Facebook Live, okay? For those of you who are watching on ActorScope and you probably just haven't exactly hit that button, subscribe on Periscope. Facebook, subscribe. So that way you don't have to remember every week. Once we start the show, it's going to tell you, hey, pay attention. There you go. It's on right now. Make sure to make it happen. So, I'm really excited, and actually I'm going to scoot over as I introduce them.
Okay, let me just say this though, for you guys who've been tuning in, know, for the past 3 months we produced a film entitled Untitled. And here is our director and our writer and the creator of the film. And today's show is going to be all about your product. So,
Untitled.
I'm turning it over to you now. Introduce your cast.
All right. Why don't we just bring them all out? And once we bring them out, then we'll introduce them to everybody. Welcome to the cast of Untitled.
Oh my God! I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. But I'm so glad you guys can be there. And I'm just going to do a little plug for those that couldn't join us because they were also part of the film. And they were going to try to make it today. And, okay, so you guys can see. All right? And we miss you guys. We wish you were here. But I have a killer team here. And Mike, I'm going to do this with you because I'm so proud of this moment. Like, I'm literally, can you see me beaming? I'm literally beaming. I don't know where Donald is, but the rest of the crew that was part of this, I can't say thank you enough. I can't say thank you enough. And Mike, I can't say I can't put into words how proud of you I am and how proud of this project. And I don't want to get verklempt, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to try to stick to the script so I can ask the right questions. But Mike, do you want to lead off by saying anything?
Well, I just want to say, first of all, thank you to Winsome St. Clair and Donald Jarman for believing in the product. I'll tell you, the only thing that I knew, and if you guys watched the show, one time I said this about uber faith, having faith. Don't worry about how you're going to get to where you're getting, just know you're going to get there. Yeah. When I wrote this script last July, by December, the only thing that I knew was in 365 days that I was going to be able to press play on my first movie. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I wasn't worried about that. It's not your job to worry. It's just your job to know things are going to happen. So with faith in God and the right situations, the right circumstance, Winsome and Donald heard it, and they felt like this was something that they had to do. So I'm grateful, I'm happy, and you just have to live your life like that sometimes, man. Just know, don't worry about the how, just know the know.
Exactly.
And that's what I do.
And once again, I want to shout out the people who gave up their time, because this was a faith walk for all of us. You know what I'm saying? And there are people who were new to the situation, but there are people who, you know, the entire WSA team. I gotta shout out Tracy Williams, because she came over years. I mean, I know we're only 35, so it's like, what, 10 years? You know, we're 10 years. So, but, and the entire staff, like, this was a faith walk. So many people flew in from New York. People flew, they dropped what they were doing, whatever they were doing. And these are people who do their thing in this industry, and they drop everything when we call. And I cannot put into words how grateful I am for that. And I promised myself I wasn't going to cry in the show, so take the camera off me when I start tearing up.
Well, I'm going to let the cast go ahead and introduce themselves.
Yes, please. And tell us a little bit about your character, if you can, without giving anything.
Without giving anything. Okay. My name is Sean Baker. I play Quincy, and he's a very interesting character. You know, no holds barred. You know, straight from the streets, and he knows what he wants in life, and he's not going to let things stand in his way. But he's about family, and he's about respect, and you'll find out more.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Jeff Cuzzy. I play Young Cunningham. Young Cunningham, he's just a guy I feel like is trying to change his reality, and compromising situations I feel like came up and made it sort of difficult for him. So it's very difficult to talk about it without actually talking about it. So I'm trying to dance around.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
My name is Clint Magby. I'm based here in Atlanta, Georgia. I play older Darius Cunningham.
So they actually play the same character, but older and younger.
Yeah,
awesome.
we progress, we move on. And my character, again, not trying to reveal too much, older, polished, celebrated, veteran of his agency where he works, and had some, in different times in his life, and he's suppressing some things, and he's tried to move on. And so you have to finish watching the film to find out what evolves, and we move forward from there.
Speaking of watching the film, we actually got accepted into Martha's Vineyard, our very first
Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival next month. And we're screening on the 12th, so if any of you are up in that area or can get to that area, we would love for you to come out and support.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're just really looking forward to this project and see what comes with it. Okay, so let's jump into some questions. Let's see what we got for you guys.
All right, let me go first.
Ladies
Okay,
first.
For the table, okay. What were some of the emotional challenges you faced while shooting tonight? Right. Jump in.
Well, let me see. For Quincy's character, for me, there's a scene where he has to deal with a situation that happens with his children, and so and having to actually witness, that event happen, I had to pull from somewhere in order to find out,
Was that challenging for you though, to get there emotionally?
Not completely. I had to do some substitution a little bit because I don't have children.
Okay.
I have lots of godchildren. But it was challenging in the sense that it's hard to it's because when you're in as an actor, so I automatically put myself in that place, and I'm like I'm watching something happen to my child that's a fear of all parents. So it was a bit challenging, but I would like to say rose to the occasion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I like to say rose to the occasion. Absolutely.
Okay, but I loved it.
Okay, what about you, Jack or Clinton?
For me, it was definitely a similar situation with working with one of the kid-style actors. And again, it's very difficult because I want to tell you, but I can't. It's just finding, I guess, not being Jeff in that situation exactly when this doesn't do that. And I have younger brothers and sisters, so finding that and making it real and truthful for me.
And Clinton, your challenge?
For me, initially, I didn't think it was going to be too hard because I'm so used to playing these occupational roles, the detective, the judge, the district attorney. But I realized in reading the script that my character is dealing with suppressing some guilt and some other issues. So I had to kind of dial back from the original set of just, playing this forward guy, upstanding person, and reaching back to the I would say, not so nice side, and suppress that.
I would also say that the challenge that I faced as a first-time director working with such a talented cast was to explain to them the vision. And the moment it clicked for me on how to do that was the morning before our first shoot. I was sitting with Jeff, and he just kept asking me all these questions. And in my mind, I was like, God, please let me know how to answer these. But I played it so cool, yeah. But in my mind, I'm like, oh God, what do I say? But what happened was, and I took what I did with him, and I did it with everyone else on the set. We talked about the character's backstory. We talked about where they came from, how they felt. We talked about things that did not really exist. And then what I found myself doing after I had to practice with him is, I had everybody's story in my mind already. So then all I had to do was literally tell the actors, hey, listen, your character, when they were this age, here's what happened. And that's what happened. And then once we had that conversation, I seen light bulbs go off in each of their minds. And I was like, oh, that's how you do it? Okay, cool. So it was quite a learning experience and an adjustment for me, I'd say, too.
So let me ask you a question. Being with your first time directing, what was your biggest challenge? And as a first-time director, was there anything you would have done differently?
To answer your second question first, as a first-time director, there's nothing I would have done different. Not at all. I wouldn't change a single thing about how it was shot, what happened. There's nothing I would change. And what contributed to that mindset is because the night before we were supposed to shoot, I needed a car for one of the characters, and they're supposed to have this very distinct car. It was supposed to be an old school kind of car, and I had it booked. And around 2 o'clock in the morning, I got a phone call that said, "Hey, you don't have the car anymore." And for the first 10 minutes after that call, I was pissed. I was so upset. Man, my mother was around. I had to excuse. But you know, after 10 minutes, I sat back and I thought about it and I said, you know what? God must have a better idea. And that scene that I needed that car for is probably one of the best scenes in the movie. And I was right. God had a better idea. And for the rest of the movie, whenever things didn't go my way, I kept that mantra. Don't worry, guys. God's got a better idea. He didn't tell us yet, but he will eventually. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that gave me peace of mind for making the film. Because, you know, as a creator, you're never satisfied. Mm-hmm. You always think, but, you know, I found peace of mind and just God had a better idea.
And as a producer, what I wanted to say, because this is, being a producer was something that was always on my radar to make happen. And then when I partnered with my partner, Donald Jarman, we were like, okay, we didn't know what it was at the time, but at the top of 2016, we said, we're going to produce something this year. I had no idea what it was. We make our declarations and then we put it in God's hand. But I have to say, with the amazing team, with the amazing cast, and a first-time director, the way things came together, if you don't believe in something, I'm going to use the word magical. If you believe in something and you believe in the way that I believe, this film was always in God's hands. At one point, the director can attest to this, I sat down with you and I said, I need for you to understand that this is no longer your film. I finally understood this was not your film. It came through you, but it's not yours. And we just have to sit back and let him do what he's going to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I still get chills talking about it right now, especially, and I hate, we can't reveal much about it,
right.
But this is such a timely piece that if you don't believe in something, this might scare you how timely this is.
Right.
Because we didn't plan this. You know what I'm saying? And the ultimate creator to create something like this at this time in the world. And I just want to share with the cast that is here and anybody watching, trust and believe that nobody at WSA, none of that was lost on us. We got that this was something that was out of our hands, and we just had to be, as they would say, good stewards. Just make sure we did the best by this project, and we continue to make decisions that honored God where this was concerned, and everything else he handled.
Absolutely. I got a question for you though, Winsome.
Yeah.
How was it for you as a casting director to step back from casting and be a producer and let Tracy run all the casting?
Well, the easy part was letting Tracy run it, because if I've been in this industry for 27 years, me and Tracy have been marketing for 26. So like that is like my other half. Like she gets it. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for a while. To step back as a producer, I don't think actually I would change that. I didn't step back and be a producer. I stepped up. All right. It was time for me to step up and you know, if anybody knows, the reason that I'm a casting director is because what I do for a living is I make dreams come true. Whether it be, you know, putting somebody in front of the camera or connecting people, I feel like being a producer is doing that on another level. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's not only about the cast, and I work with actors because I absolutely adore, love, and respect them. But now on a bigger plane, I get to co-create with the director. I get to work with the production team and make dreams come true on other levels. And making dreams come true is my dream come true. So it's a win-win for me.
Okay. Well, let me just say this. For those of you watching, again, guys, you know, we can't go too deep in, but I'll tell you this much. Sean plays a gangster, and Jeff and Clint, who are the same character in different time periods, they play a policeman. So, let me ask you this. We're on thin ice.
Ooh, I'm glad I got to answer this question.
Thin ice.
Has being a part of this project help change the way you view police and civilian interactions?
That's not my question.
No.
No?
No.
Why is that?
Well, I think the project for me, what it spoke more about corruption than anything. Young Cunningham is trying to escape a reality for a better one and finds himself in the same reality, facing the same problems, but it's more sophisticated and complicated. And his moral compass is compromised. And I think that's something that's like that's part in any system where there's like balance of power. That's always something that's gonna happen. So,
absolutely.
Anybody else want to chime in?
Well, for me, it's changed a a little bit. There is a part of the film where, in the beginning, don't want to say too much, where
Yeah.
I would say that I would say that tones, inflections, attitudes, and things of that nature have to be taken into consideration when we are in these types of situations dealing with law enforcement. And also, you talk about you talk about, again, the inflections and the tones, and you will see this in the opening. I mean, you'll see this in the beginning, how things can change with an attitude, a word, a movement, and that's what we're dealing with here, movement in some of these cases.
Right.
Where you'll see this and you'll see it being played out. So yeah, it's changed for me tremendously. So there's some learning to be done here.
You disagree, Jeff?
I mean, yeah, partially. Yeah, I don't.
What do you think?
I don't know, man. Like when I think about the history of like police and where that idea comes from, from what I understand, that organization was put in place to like chase down slaves. So there's some history there. So it's very difficult not to be on guard when you approach. And the reality is what's happening. Like
Right.
you know what I mean? Like you just want me to be like, oh, okay, like I don't know.
It's a very thin line.
Well, I want to speak to that, Rihanna, because I'm going to ask you this
Right.
question. And put you on, so what inspired you to write the story?
The story is, it's a short film, and when I first sat down to write it, the only thing that I knew was the first scene. I didn't know where the story was going to go after the first scene. All I knew is that after I seen Sandra Bland and what happened to her, that it really, really affected me.
And if, for anybody who may not know, I don't see how you couldn't, just explain who Sandra Bland is.
Well, Sandra Bland, she got pulled over and she was arrested in the state of Texas, and 3 days later she ended up dead in the jail. But for me, it wasn't so much about her dying in the jail, it was so much as to how she ended up in jail in the first place. You know, and that video of her being pulled over, when it first came out, I studied that video. Some of y'all seen the short version. I've seen all versions, long and short.
Let's be clear, everybody in the WSA office can attest to the fact that you didn't just study, you were obsessed.
I obsessed.
You obsessed over it.
I obsessed. And what made me obsess about it is, yeah, Trayvon Martin happened, which really just broke my heart. I think that was the first big thing to break my heart, is Trayvon. But when Sandra happened, it affected me so much because it was a woman. And I was just like, men aren't bad. Men, boys, but now women. So to me, it took it to another level. So when I wrote this story, I didn't want to write a story about bad cops, because my personal belief is that there's much more good cops in this world than there are bad. But a few corrupt can make, they get the most attention. I want to tell a story about a good cop. So when I first sat down, I wanted to tell a story about a good cop, and I wanted a good cop to pull over a guy, and you can see from the trailer, I want to tell a story about a good cop who pulled over a guy who just didn't want to hear anything he had to say, and how that played out with the cop being a professional. That good cop that we all hope to be pulled over. Matter of fact, on our road trip, we went to American Black Film Festival, me, Winston McDonald, and we got pulled over by a good cop. And, he was so nice and cool. When we were done, was like, well, look at Officer Whitley. That's the guy's name in the movie. We're like, well, we got pulled over.
He ended up chatting with us. He ended up giving us some advice. He told me something I can order on Amazon. He was the quintessential epitome of a good cop.
Yeah, if I may say, Mike, you kind of touched upon something, because I was bothered by the Sandra Bland case as well. And there's moments in that stop, in that arrest, where things could have gone either way, and unfortunately went a bad way. I mentioned earlier about tones and inflections and movements, and when you're in these situations, adjustments have to be made. And it just doesn't seem, and it doesn't have to compromise your dignity.
Right.
When the adjustments have to be made. And I think that's kind of what we're struggling with here. Is I don't want to compromise my dignity. In these situations, if I ask a question or if I'm made to feel a certain way, But I think also there's a subculture within our culture that's misunderstood. You know, not everybody that gets pulled over is going to have on a shirt and tie and works corporately. You know, some people dress very relaxed, you know, very like we are today. But in that situation, in your relaxed gear, whatever, your tone and your diction and however you're speaking or whatever, the adjustments have to be made. And that was my thing with my observation.
Part of that is, and I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Being that I'm from New York as well, you down Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes to any city, any borough, whatever. But I've also been in corporate as well as been in my regular street clothes, and it's like it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I can articulate.
Right.
I can say, officer, sir, is there a problem? Right. I can give you the best example of how to address an officer, but the issue is what I said before. It's the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's you.
Hmm?
That's you though. You know, we have situations out there again where the subculture or the observation or the presence is being misunderstood. I think what has to go across the board is how do we communicate, again, like you said, no matter what you're wearing, to get us out of these situations. And really, what I'm not attacking so much what we're wearing or what we got on this, but I am attacking our verbiage and our lingo and our dialect. And I'm not dialect, that's the wrong term. But just our posture and our presence in doing these situations.
So you said sometimes the subculture is misunderstood.
I think by the masses and by others. We understand each other.
Yeah, but I don't think they want to understand.
Hmm?
I don't think they want to understand.
Well, they have to.
Yeah, they have to. But
And that's why we're having this conversation.
to.
That's right, they're supposed to, and that's why we're having this conversation. Whether they want to or not, this is why we're at the table having these roundtable discussions so that we can understand each other. You know, there are subcultures in other races that we don't understand. But what seems to be on the table and in the forefront right now is ours. And we got to get that understood and get to a better place.
It's tough. I remember on Facebook, there's this video that circulated right after Alton Sterling Philando, where Philando Castile.
Yeah.
There was a video circulating, and the video broke my heart for two reasons. The video was people got together. They were like, "Listen, this is how we have to react when we're dealing with police to make sure that we're safe." And those parents telling their kids, "Listen, be calm, make eye contact, make sure your hands are." And you know, it broke my heart for two reasons. It broke my heart for one because I'm an American, and you know, everybody shouldn't. It shouldn't have to be like that, and we shouldn't have to feel like that as a certain group or sect of people. You know, because of the fact that we're American. You know, it should be the same for everybody. Because, you know, I worked at Enterprise, right? And at Enterprise, no matter what a customer did, they were always right. I'm not saying that when you get pulled over, you're always right. But what I am saying is that no matter what attitude they came in with that day, as a professional, I had to adjust to it. I had to adjust to their attitude.
Right.
So, you know, when it comes to policing, sometimes I feel like that police sometimes, they have to understand that no one likes to get a ticket. So if someone's a little, I understand they have training, you know, there's things that they have to look for their safety, and I 100% agree with, you know, but sometimes people are not in good moods, and you're about to give them a ticket, and they probably don't have money, so you can't expect everybody to smile and be happy.
But
So,
yeah, I think, let me just chime in. Shout out to, first of all, again, to all the good cops who are doing what they're doing, putting their lives on the line. I will never question that, but I believe the dilemma, especially for us as a people, is the no consequence. You know what I'm saying? Because when you are telling your child to speak a certain way, put your hands in, and then something happens like with Philando Castile, where he was still in the seatbelt. He was doing everything right. He was complying. He was in compliance. And he gets shot anyway. Now, the issue with that is we have a huge issue with it happening under those circumstances. But I think the bigger issue for us as a people and our value and our having to relate to the younger generation is if these cops are constantly left with there's no consequence for your action, that means that is going to make any young person feel, and I'm an older person, I'm a woman of a certain age, feel, then what value does my life have?
yeah.
If I can be taken out at any moment, and there's nobody will pay a consequence for it. I asked all my my friends who do have, what do you tell your kids?
So, anyone, answer this question if you can. How would you describe your past encounters with police, negative or positive?
We had a positive one in Miami. So
We had a
that
great
was
positive one.
I mean, it's been mixed, you know. I've had positive, I've had negative experiences. So, yeah, I mean.
It's just luck of the draw, really, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's unfortunate because the negative seems to outweigh the positive.
And I have an issue with the fact that I come from a family of 4 brothers, being the only girl, and I don't know any African American man that I've ever known in my 50+ years on this planet that hasn't been stopped on this. They're just being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But you know, guys, I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but honestly, I am of the belief system that there has to be more good cops than bad.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. It's not even a belief.
Yeah.
That's a fact. There are, and unfortunately, just like in any other situation, the couple of bad apples spoil it for the whole bunch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They are not the majority. They're the ones that are getting the attention.
Right.
Let's be clear on that. They're not the majority. They're the ones that the media is focusing on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they were doing equal reporting on, because there's a guy by the name of Officer Norman who's like all over Facebook.
Yeah. Shout out
And I'm
Officer
like,
Norman.
why is nobody putting him on the news?
Right.
Okay, because every day he does the same thing as puts his life on the line and then goes above and beyond, but he doesn't get any airtime on the news.
Right.
Why is that?
We want to give a special shout out to Officer Norman.
Officer Norman, everybody needs to see it. I'm telling you, he is in love with what this man is doing with his life and in his community, and as a good example of what officers should be.
And you know how you know that he's really authentic? Because kids don't lie. In one of his videos, he rolls up on a kid, and then he says, "I'm Officer Norman," and the kid his eyes light up like, "You're Officer Norman?" And it's like, you know, like when I saw that, I was so like, oh, because kids don't lie. You know, kids do not lie. You know, so shout out to Officer Norman.
Yeah,
And all the other good cops out there who are really making a difference in their communities. We appreciate you, and please continue to do so.
Exactly, and you know, talk to your fellow officers. Maybe you
Yeah,
can help them.
you know.
You can help them.
You know. So what you guys think about the script when you first read it?
Awesome. It was intriguing. And I was going to speak to the fact that just the way that the script was written and the way the story is being told, it causes you to think. It gives, it literally gives you pause. And that's what drew me right away. I said, oh, this has to be told. This has to get out there.
What about you guys?
I like the sort of karmic retribution thing that happens with the characters. So that for me, that was the most interesting part of the script. Again, without saying too much.
No, I'll admit, I'll be very, very transparent with you, Mike. In the beginning, because we had a different title. And at the time when...
Everybody knows.
And my partner and I, Donald, will tell you what.
When I read the title and then I read the script, the timing was like, wow, because we had some issues and some situations that occurred on the south side of town. And I grew up on the south side of town. I was like, man, if I'm in this film, how is this going to be received? But I read the script. You called me, you said, hey, have you read the script? And I had read the first part, and I read it all the way through, and I was like, this is good. This is it. We talked on the phone. I think you were in Florida at the time, and I was like, I want to be a part of this, because now, progressing from where we talked then to where we are now, it is so encompassing of everything that's going on both sides, for the civilians as well as law enforcement.
Right.
So I'm glad that I was able to really get in and dig in. So thank you.
Right.
And just to be clear, just so you know, from a producer standpoint, the way that we got the crew, the seasoned crew that we did get for this film, because it is very rare that a first-time director will get the level of expertise that you got in a crew. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you how we got everybody. Donald and I sent this with people who were like, read it. Let me know if you want to be a part of this. And not only did people jump on board to be a part of it, but they jumped on board to do it at their own expense. And when I say people came in from New York on their own dime, you know what I'm saying, to support the message in this film. Like I said, they were seasoned people, but what they bought into first is they believed in your script and wanted to have other people be able to see it. So once again, shout out to the people who adjusted their life. I had a father, a new father, shout out to Donovan Lambert, who was here on Mother's Day weekend, left his wife alone with the kids to come do this. And I had to call and ask, I said to him, Donovan, ask Eileen, you know what I'm saying? Please make sure this is okay, because I knew what I was asking people to do.
Right.
And I knew it was a lot, but they believed so much, they said, we'll be there. They bought their plane tickets and they showed up. It was Mother's Day weekend, y'all. You get that, what that means for people who have families?
Right.
Okay.
Right. You know, Father's Day you could probably skip every now and then, but Mother's Day,
Father's
that's
Day
typically
for sure.
non-negotiable.
Exactly.
You know. But I appreciate it, and you know, Winsome said something funny, really funny earlier that I didn't know. She said that her and Donald, her business partner, my buddy, where's that guy? I love that guy. That they knew at 2016 that they were going to produce a film. I didn't know about their intention, and I work in the office with them, and I knew that my movie was going to get made. I didn't know how it was going to get made. I just knew it was going to get made. So it's just amazing how God put that together and put us in the same spot the right way, and here we are right now. Oh man, y'all about to make me cry.
Okay, so before you cry, here's my question to the table. What important lessons did you take away from the film? And I'm going to start with our director. What important lessons did you take away from the film?
I'll put it this way. Matter of fact, when Clint and I talked about the script, I think he described it perfectly in one sentence. Because when I finished writing it, it's a short, I didn't know. I was like, should I add some more? But every inclination in my body told me to stop. So then when I was talking to Clint, I said, do you think it needs more here or there? He said, Mike, this story is a perfect medium-sized cup of coffee. It's not too cold, it's not too hot, and by the time you drink it, it's not going to cool down or anything. It's just a perfect cup of coffee. When he told me that, I was sold. I knew that it was enough. I knew that as far as learning anything, that every lesson, because it has so many lessons in it. Everyone that has read the script, everyone who's seen the movie, they always have a different look on it. And as an artist, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to tell people how to think.
And that's why it's untitled.
It's untitled because I didn't want to tell people how to think. I just wanted to lay out all the facts. And honestly, I think that anybody can watch this movie and they can all come to the conclusion that, yeah, we got to talk about this and make this better. Things can't stay the same.
And it's going to spark conversation. And I think as a filmmaker, you know, being a part of the filmmaking community for almost 30 years now, I think the best films cause conversation. You know, cause you to re-examine how you either saw things. It may cause you to commit to how you know, to your belief system even more. But if you have a great film, you will leave talking about it, thinking about it, and sharing with one or a few individuals your experience as a viewer of that film. I think that's what great films do. The greatest films we still talk about.
Right. Look how we're talking.
Exactly.
We're having conversations.
Exactly.
So imagine the rest of the world. I can't wait till y'all see. I cannot wait.
Okay, so I wanted to get these guys to answer that question, and then we're going to wrap it up because I want to give you an opportunity to tell people what's going on with the film. But you guys go ahead with your answers for that question.
For me, because of the ironic pieces in the film and how it's set up, you cannot judge a book by its cover. You cannot read into any generalizations initially going in because you just never know how it's going to end up and how it's going to change. So just reading the script, watching how it plays out and the characters that are involved, and then just watching my co-stars here bring the things to life, it really has a very, very powerful message. And also just kind of watching the creative process between you and Winsome. I remember during the table read, there was more discussion when we were done, and Winsome, you said, no, I think that's it. Let's stay right there. They ready to rock and roll. The chief has spoken, so that was my lesson.
Listen, for me, it goes back to the karmic retribution thing. You never really, it all comes back. You never really make it out alive. You're gonna pay for what you did. and sometimes you do things for like immediate gratification, but in the long run, you will pay. That's what.
Yeah, and life, I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, I did that. Reading my mind. It's the same situation. You can't just judge a book by its cover, and also understanding that every action has a consequence.
Okay.
Every action has a consequence.
So Mike, can you want to tell our audience where you're at with the film? What's the new movement, new push behind the film?
Yes. Right now, guys, we're actually, I have an open, live, and active GoFundMe account. So, listen, I know we couldn't give you guys all the details, all the nitty-gritty. We couldn't give y'all all the tea, right? But what I will say is that this is definitely something that I believe you want to be a part of. Please, go to GoFundMe.com/UntitledMovie2016. It'll pop right up, and when you go on there, every dollar literally counts. Right now we're doing our final push. There's some certain things that need to be done. Thank God the movie's already shot. I thought that was the hard part, but now that we're done with the film, post-production is proving to be the much harder part. So I really need your support. I really need your help. Guys, dig deep into your heart and your pocketbook.
We're this close to the finish line.
We're this close, and literally, guys, every dollar counts, okay? If it's $1, if it's $5, if it's $50, if it's $1,000, whatever you have, please, by any means, please, go donate to my GoFundMe. Actually, check out the ActorScope page, check out the Untitled page, go to Untitled Movie 2016
like
on
our
Facebook. Like it, you get all the updates. The trailer is up. If you haven't seen the trailer, you don't know what you're missing. Oh my gosh, every time I see the trailer, I get chills. Matter of fact, one of our stars, he just saw the trailer today, and he was like, So, I'm really excited about it, guys. Go to, again, GoFundMe.com/UntitledMovie2016. I need y'all to believe in me. I need y'all to rock with me. I need y'all to show some love and believe it. It all comes back. It's all reciprocated. That's all I got.
All right, cool. So, first of all, let me thank the cast for doing this. Thank everybody, if you watch the show over the year, it's a 1-year anniversary, I always close the show with Summy Says. And today, Summy Says is coming from Henry David Thoreau. And he says, it's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. Okay? Thank you guys so much. Happy anniversary, ActorScope!
Where's the music?
Hey, everybody, hey guys, these are the show happen every week. Sasha, Austin, everybody.
Come on, and play. Hey,
let's do it.
Everybody. If you got dreads, come in.
Come on in, guys.
Come on in.
None of this would be possible.
Hey, shout out to Renell Gibbs, who plays the lead in the movie. He couldn't make it here with us today, but I know he's watching.
Shout out to Erica Pinkett. Shout out to TJ. Come on,
TJ Garland. Check it out. Everybody. Thank you so much for rocking with us. ActorScope is here to stay, people. Stay. Stay tuned for the after party. That's all we do. Those are your gifts. Those are your gifts. Whoa!